Hey beloveds, welcome to Beanie TV, where I offer you sprinkles of spiritual sassiness. So today is another episode of Makeup and Meditation. Makeup and Meditation. I've already done my eyebrows. They're little thickums, but it goes with the look. I am doing this look right here. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen. I got a lot of compliments on IG. If you don't follow your girl, Beanie TV, you need to. And I got a lot of compliments on it in real life, so I wanted to repeat that look. But I have been rereading A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and because I'm reprogramming my mind, because I believe that I was living from the ego for a very long time, and I'm just transitioning out of being unhappy with my life, so my life situation. So we're going to be talking about the ego. What is ego? Ego is basically the culmination of attachment to form. The ego loves to attach to everything that is outside of itself. The ego is the part of the mind that, you know, is full of the past and never wants to be in the present moment, because when it's in the present moment, that means the presence of God is there, and ego and God cannot coexist. Some people like to call the ego the devil. The ego can be your doubts and your fears and creating kind of like a paralyzing life for you, because the ego tells you, don't do that, don't talk to that person, you know, don't go to this party, and creates this whole thing, a whole idea in your mind. It tries to protect you, tries to warn you, but we cannot live from that space. So if you have never read A New Earth, or if you've never read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, that's I call him Uncle Eckhart. That's my uncle. So I've been reading Eckhart's books for so long. So anyway, I'm babbling. So let's get into today's meditation affirmation. We are going to be doing ego affirmations. All right, let's go. I am the awareness that is aware of the ego. I am the awareness that is aware of the ego. I am the awareness that is aware of the ego. I don't have to fear the ego. I do not have to fear the ego. The ego has its own mind, and I have to use my spiritual power to control it. The ego has its own mind, and I have to use my spiritual powers to control it. I do not identify with the ego. I am not those harmful thoughts that stop me from living a beautiful life. I am not those harmful thoughts that stop me from living a beautiful life. I am not those harmful thoughts that stop me from living a beautiful life. The ego is attached to all the things that separate us. Religion, social class, skin color, all types of form. That is what the ego is attached to. That is what the ego is attached to. The ego likes to feel separate. The ego loves to feel separate from everything. The ego loves to feel separate from itself. The ego loves to play the victim card. Anytime you feel yourself playing the victim, you have to understand that your emotions are fleeting. They are not who you are. They are not who you are. They do not define you. They are fleeting. They are coming and going. But the ego loves to identify with that pain. The ego loves to identify with pain bodies, which is the past, which is the culmination of every single time you've been hurt. The ego loves to feel like the victim. The ego loves to feel separate from everything and everyone. But the great God that lives within you doesn't care. I will not be consumed by my ego. My ego will no longer consume me. My ego will no longer consume me. I am no longer consumed by the ego. I lovingly tell my ego, not today. I lovingly tell my ego, not today. I live from my being, meaning I live from the present moment. I live from where I am now. The greatest way to defeat the ego is to be present. God and ego cannot be in the same place at the same time, which is why people call the ego the devil. God and the devil cannot exist in the same place at the same time. So that's why, in order to defeat the ego, you must be present. Where are you now? Where are you now? Even right now, you're watching me doing my makeup, and maybe some egoic thoughts came up, like maybe you judged me, maybe you judged yourself, maybe you compared yourself to me. Don't worry about it. That's all ego. It's all ego. It's not who you are. You're already perfect. You're already good. You're already whole. You're already complete. Ego doesn't want you to know that, though. Ego doesn't want you to know that. I no longer attached to the ego's insanity. I no longer attached to the ego's insanity. I no longer attached to the ego's insanity. The ego wants to separate me from everyone, but deep down inside, I know we are all connected. The ego wants to separate me from people based upon money, based upon living situations. Ego wants me to feel less than. Ego wants me to feel better than. Ego wants me to stay shy when I secretly want to jump out. Ego wants me to lessen myself in order to let others be great. That's all ego. Insecurities, that's all ego. That's not who you are. Who you are is dope and perfectly made and wonderfully made and fearfully made by the Creator. I love living in the present moment. I love living in the present moment. I love living in the present moment. In the present moment is my truest, highest self. Why wouldn't I want to stay there? In the present moment is my truest, highest self. Why wouldn't I want to stay there? In the present moment is God's essence. Why wouldn't I want to be where God is? And God is only in the present moment. Ego. Easily, now that I know what it is, I can catch the ego easily. Now that I know what it is, I can catch the ego easily. Now that I know what it is. Jesus says that we are made a new person by the renewing of our mind. It's talking about ego. It's talking about ego. It's talking about letting it go, no longer living from that place. No longer living from that place and that space of identifying with form. You are a limitless spiritual being having a human experience. I don't know why we have the ego. I don't know. I don't know why God gave us the ego. I don't even know if God gave us the ego. I don't know. All I do know is that God has given us the power to identify the ego and to no longer live from that place. And to say, F you to the ego. Because I don't want to live from that place anymore. Okay? Anymore. I'm so happy to be here right now. That's an affirmation, but that's also just how I feel. I'm just so happy to be here right now in this present moment, making this video for you. It's also healing for me. I am not my egoic thoughts. 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 That was today's makeup and meditation. Makeup and meditation. I hope you guys enjoyed the affirmations. I hope I gave you a bit more insight on ego. I hope you guys like this foxy lady red look. Okay, honey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave comments below. Check out my other makeup and meditations, and I will see you guys next video.